Yesterday you had mentioned, of course, it's in the lineup that Dalton Rushing is going to be catching today. How much of that decision went to, with today being a bullpen game, he's going to be working with arms that he's probably very familiar with from OKC or even just time in spring training?
I think there's some of that, but I think right now I feel good with Will not catching 3 in a row. So I think that's more the kind of the genesis behind it, but it certainly helps that, Dalton's going to be catching guys that he's familiar with.
Now here, is the hope that potentially him and Matt, just considering they're both built up, can take down the entirety of this game?
We'll see. Justin, I just, getting him here, I think around the guys, the coaches, I think is a good thing. And so I don't know what particular role he'll play tonight. So we'll kind of read and react on how, Sauer does.
Glasnow was throwing again today off the flat ground. Is he getting any closer to getting off the mound?
Yeah, I don't know when that's going to be, but from what I hear, that the catch play, the flat ground stuff has been good, but I'm not sure when he's going to get on the mound, though.
Where is your pitching staff at this point after today? Are you guys in a good spot to just go back to a traditional 5-man rotation without Sasaki in the mix right now?
Well, I think so. If we look out to the next series, it's Dustin, it's May, and then it's Kirsch, and then it's Gonsolin. And then so, for the next, few days, and we'll see how it goes with Sauer going forward, and obviously with Landon. But I think we're in a good spot, but it's still going to be time, obviously, with, Blake Snell and Glasnow, a little bit behind.
With Knack, Robleski, Sauer, Kasperius, I guess, one of those guys going to be your 5th starter?
Potentially, yeah. I think that, I'm not too, I think that we don't get an off day for a while, but yeah, I think that's a fair assessment.
Is that the lead in that group?
Yeah, he's at the lead. He's in the lead.
Dave, there's all these terms for relievers like closer and high leverage guys and all that stuff, but Ben Kasperius, is there another term that you would use to describe what his role, what he's played?
What about a hybrid? He's sort of a hybrid. I think that looking out to this next series, that was sort of the thought of shortening them yesterday. But I think ideally the 2 to 3 innings is something that we see a value from Ben.
That he's had in that role, how would you describe the degree of difficulty to have that kind of success in that role?
Very difficult. Certainly, you got to be talented. You have to be adaptable, and you have to be kind of, I guess, ready when called upon, adaptable. So Ben's done a fantastic job, and I think that given the struggles with the starters for the first 6 weeks of the season, guys like Ben have been invaluable, and even what Jack Dreyer has done for us as well with the multiple innings, because it's hard to, use 4 relievers every night.
How did the lines go with Tommy and Teo? How did Bruns look?
Bruns looked fine. It was good. This is his second live. It was good to put eyes on him as a young prospect, get him here at Dodger Stadium. But I think the guys got through it. I think I don't expect Tommy to do a rehab. When he's going to come back, I'm not sure yet, but it's getting close. Teo, I'm gathering that a rehab, a couple games potentially might happen, and so with that, he probably won't be back till next week. So, but it's a day-to-day situation.
Could Tommy be back before next week?
We'll see. It's certainly a possibility, yeah.
Is there anything special you tell guys when they're going to make their debut?
On the day of, no, I talked to Dalton yesterday. He was on the bench sitting with me and Bob, talked about, their hitters, their tendencies, what our hitters are doing. I asked him who's in town. But as far as today, I don't say anything. I'm just letting him get ready to go play a ball game.
I noticed that yesterday that whenever we were pitching, he would go and kind of see who would bob out. Was that kind of him doing that, or did you all, I guess, ask him to?
No, that was him initiating, which is a good sign. He has to go over the signs from the bench, and I thought it was helpful to kind of, talk through approach and what, their guys look like. A lot of the same guys in the lineup today, so things like that. But that was on him.
Have you noticed, like, he was a big prospect for a long time, has been knocking on the door for a while, like, just kind of him feeling like ready to be here, kind of comfortable coming up, maybe compared to like another rookie who might be a little more thrown off just by the stage here, like, does he seem like he's pretty comfortable?
He's very comfortable, I think in a good way. I think he thought he was ready when he signed. So he's certainly confident, which can be a good thing. So, but he's still open. He cares. He's a hard worker. He can really hit, and so it's exciting. And the thing for me is I like is that he earned it and he performed, and so nothing was given to him.
Roki was explaining yesterday that his condition with his shoulder was something similar to last year in Japan, but he couldn't figure out what it is exactly, and it's not showing in the scan. How do you how do you try to figure that out when it's not?
Yeah, I mean, I think the good thing is that there's not really an incident with the MRI, the scan, but there's symptoms, and I think that so I think that a vague way to put it is an impingement, and what that means specifically, it just, something in the bones, and then there's just some impingement going on in the shoulder, that's discomfort. And so obviously, if you keep doing it, some more things can happen. So we feel as a staff that if we can just kind of put him on ice, take a ball out of his hands, build him back up, then we can get that inflammation out, and then we can go from there. But that there's no kind of one thing to look at, I think that's a good thing.
Is Tryon getting closer to picking up the ball?
Yeah, he should be picking up a ball in the next few days. I was just in the weight room with him, and he was doing the plyos, and looks great, and so he's getting antsy.
What about with Evan?
Evan, we're still kind of, we're nowhere further than we were the last couple of days, so we're in a holding pattern.
Does that mean that Tryon's close to pain-free or just much less at least?
He is pain-free, so yes, he is pain-free, and I asked him that specifically.
With Teoscar, if he goes on rehab, does he stay local because you guys are home?
Yeah, he'll be local, so I haven't looked at the schedule, but I'm assuming Rancho.
They're in San Luis.
There you go. What do you want, Dylan? You good? You're quiet today? Thank you.